Let's talk about 5 neck exercises you're probably not doing that will reduce the stress, the wear and tear, and the neck pain you have while you're working at your desk. So if you guys don't know me, my name's Tony Maritado. I'm a licensed physical therapist. I've been working at my desk all morning, and it's time to get moving. It's time for me to take a little movement break. And so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with the easiest of the bunch. This is a thoracic spine extension self-mobilization that you could do at your desk any time of day. Basically what we do, and this affects the neck because the neck is connected into the thoracic spine. I'm gonna lace my fingers behind my head at the base of my neck. The occiput, or the base of my skull, is gonna rest right on the top edge of my pinky. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring my elbows together, and we're doing kind of a triple movement here. So the first one is I extend my thoracic, I point my elbows up, but I don't wanna look at the ceiling. I wanna keep my neck straight. I can actually do a little bit of a lift, so I get a little bit of traction with it. And then I'm gonna flex my lumbar spine. So my lumbar spine, which you can't see, but it's down here low in the seat, I flatten it, or I slouch just a little bit. I extend the thoracic spine, and I keep my cervical spine straight. Hold this position 3 to 5 seconds, and then I relax. And I would repeat this 3 to 5 times, or enough until I feel like the first time I do it, it's like, oh, it's stiff. The second time I do it, less stiff. Third time, almost totally gone of any stiffness. Doing 4 or 5 doesn't really seem to make any additional benefit. So that's why I say 3 to 5 repetitions. The second stretch in the series is the Levator scapula stretch. So the Levator scapulae or scapula goes from the top of the shoulder blade right up the back of the neck into the base of the skull. So the way I like to do that stretch is if I'm stretching my left, I turn toward my left, I tilt my head forward just a little bit. So it's almost like I'm bringing my cheek toward my chest. I raise the arm, or I gently place it behind my head. And then the most important part of this stretch is bringing the shoulder blade down. Scapular depression as I forward bend the head and neck is what's going to take that muscle and stretch it from both ends. I'll hold this position 5 to 10 seconds, so a little bit of a longer stretch, and then I relax, and I would repeat this 3 to 5 times. And it's really the same thing. The first time I do it, big pull, lots of discomfort. The second time I do it, less of a stretch sensation. The third time, it's almost completely mobilized and there's no more sensitivity in it. And of course, I would do both sides. So now I'm gonna hit my left shoulder. I turn that direction, tilt forward, rest my hand on the back of my head. But the most important part is that I pull that shoulder blade down and I feel that stretch all the way through that muscle and associated muscles. Okay, the next one's probably one of my favorite. So this is a form of traction, and there's lots of different ways that you can do this. Of course, laying on your back flat on the floor is a great form of traction, but I'm gonna do it without leaving my desk. What I do sometimes is I place my hand. So if you remember the first stretch, we laced our fingers, we put our pinkies under the occiput. This time what I do is I come more around toward the front of the jawline. I place the bottom of my palms on my jaw, and very gently, I press up and forward to create a very gentle traction force through the base of the neck. So I would do this. If you have any kind of TMJ sensitivity, I'm going to show you another exercise to address this, but I would not do this version of the traction if you have any issues with TMJ. But I would come in here, I would lift up and forward 3 to 5 seconds, maybe a 10-second hold, and then I would relax. I would try to do the same thing, which is depress my shoulders as I lift to create a little traction. If that doesn't work for you, the other way I do it is I go into this thumb down finger kind of behind me. I cover up my ears. I grab underneath the occiput, and I just lift again as I depress the shoulder blades on both sides. Now, I hold this position 3 to 5 seconds, up to 10 seconds, and then I relax. I repeat it 3 to 5 times, feels amazing. The next one I want to show you is just a manual muscle technique for the masseter, which is these big jaw muscles you have in here. So the zygomatic arch is this bone that runs right, it's your cheekbone. Underneath that, you'll feel a little hollow there. A lot of times when we're working and we're focused and we're doing a lot of typing, the jaw will tense, the muscle will get tight. So all I do is I put a little bit of pressure. I could just do sustained pressure. If you tend to have fingernails, you can also do this with just the base of your thumbs. I apply some pressure. My other fingertips are at the base of the occiput. I can include a little bit of traction. I don't have to, but I would basically just massage cross fiber across that muscle on both sides. I would do this 10 to 15 seconds. I could go longitudinal. I could go cross fiber. It just feels so good and so relaxing. And I've got the jaw that's loose. Obviously, I'm talking to you guys right now, but if I wasn't, my mouth would just relax, slightly open. The temporomandibular joint would be relaxed, and these muscles would just soften under the pressure. Okay, and then the last one is just a simple bilateral external shoulder rotation with scapular retraction. And there's a couple ways we can do this. My favorite is just what you see here. I rotate like I'm pointing my thumbs behind me. I push my chest out as I pull my shoulder blades down and back. It's not a shrug. I'm pulling my shoulder blades down and back. And the reason why we're doing this is so much of our time we're hunched forward, pecs are tight, shortened, everything is pulling us forward. So we work the opposite of that. I go back and down. Lower trap is working, my lats are working, my external rotators are working. All of that muscle contraction behind me will inhibit the tightness in the muscles in front of me. I'll repeat it 3 to 5 times, hold each one 3 to 5 seconds. This is just a simple at your desk mobility work. You don't even have to get up. I'm going to go back to working. Hopefully this helps you. Let me know in the comments.